The foggy mountains of the eastern sub-Himalayas have lots to tell. Here, clouds roll across the heaven as a bridge to eternity. In this kingdom of clouds, name like Mawsynram is on the top of tourists' priority. A serpentine road covering a distance of 55 kilometers takes one from Shillong to Mawsynram. While on the road to Mawsynram, one will pass through several major Khasi villages where a name like Mawphlang has its own tourist importance. This sleepy village is famous for its sacred grove forest. After a 4-hour ride from Guwahati, one finally enters Mawsynram, which is located at an altitude of 1,500 to 2,000 feet above the sea level. Locally, Mawsynram is known as Mawsynbuin. This small village in the southern edge of Meghalaya Plateau is creating world record for precipitation. Throughout the year, and more especially during summer, the chilliness is everywhere in the air. The rain-bearing clouds almost all the time overcast the horizon. And through the day, in regular succession, these clouds raid the valley with rains. This entire display of nature is amazing. And if one considers getting wet in a shower as romantic, Mawsynram is the right destination. Mawsynram can show one of the ultimate marvels of weather. The rain clouds can blind your way, and sight of falling rain becomes almost a permanent fixture in the window. It is very interesting to see the locals dealing with rain, the people for whom downpour has become a part of their life. Everything stops when it rains. The rainfall is such that it becomes very difficult to move around. Mawsynram can be a synonym for rain. But since the rain, the valley can also bedazzle the visitors with its inexplicable beauty. The far-flung mountains are beautifully crafted with fragmented white clouds. The deep gorges never seem to be revolting. The silence is wonderful. And that's not all. The chilliness of the mountain would definitely creep inside the soul. Besides, it is the play of the clouds which makes this area all so enchanting. Concentrated at the foot of the gorges as mist during night, they rise up early in the morning and float around the hills in tufts at almost touching distance. The rains, too, when they come, are sporadic and may fall several times a day, with the sky clearing up completely in between the showers or forming turquoise islands in the white cloudy canopy. The breathtaking scenic images and the sound of silence are enough to skip few heartbeats of any traveler. A step away from the town, every human habitation are far and below. Mawsynram is not like any typical tourist destination. Rather, it's a lonely destination. Moreover, due to the remoteness, most of the scenic spots and the roaring underground streams remain devoid of human presence. This waterfall is one of the most famous and familiar landmarks of Mawsynram. As most other parts of Meghalaya, Mawsynram is also full of waterfalls. As one travels along the edge of the 2,000 feet steep gorge in certain parts of the village, the soothing sound of these roaring falls would be the natural guide. They emerge from gigantic limestone slabs between the lush vegetation and gently disappear inside the valley. And amidst this unparalleled illustration of nature, one will find enough opportunity to feel and enjoy the panoramic views. The local people are much friendlier. Where accommodation is concerned, Mawsynram lacks sophistication. Though this PWD inspection bungalow in Mawsynram is the only hope for travelers, getting accommodation in this IB is never a problem. With a population of around 5,000, Mawsynram portrays a typical picture of a Meghalaya village. From a hilltop, the closely pasted houses give an impression of complex and unusual yet charming construction that the village possesses. The people here are simple and religious, where mainly Christianity dominates the faith of the people. The market square omits the lonely feeling which the usual Mawsynram streets wear. Traveling through the small Mawsynram market square, one would naturally have the feeling of sluggishness. The unique status of Khasi women can be seen from the close quarters. They control the business and other economic activities. Their simplicity and shyness are bound to touch any traveler's heart. In totality, in a small area, Mawsynram offers a complete picture of the Khasi community and will make one feel the veracity about the wonderland which is called Meghalaya. The Khasis are matrilineal, where woman is the custodian of wealth. Khasi women enjoy a position of unusual dignity and importance. Like waterfalls, Mawsynram is also full of caves. Locals believe that these limestone caves are so big that they connect villages under the hills. The famous landmark of Mawsynram, the Mawsynram Cave, attracts maximum tourists. Devotees from far-flung areas flock to this cave to see the stalagmite Shiva Linga. The tourist interest for this cave is not only limited to the Shiva Linga, but also the legend associated with it. According to the locals, the stalagmite stone structure, which a section considers as Shiva Linga, is growing day by day, almost like any other living organism. The locals believe that they have life and are the babies of the cave. The locals designated the hanging stalagmite as the breasts and the water as milk, which the stones feed the structure below. The cave has two such structures. The linga-shaped one is prominent, and behind it a small half-developed stalagmite stone structure. According to the locals, around 100 years ago, both the stone structures were of same size. Around that time, a British officer who visited the spot destroyed one of the hanging stalagmites and took it with him. Legend says that he could not reach far and died on the way due to some mysterious disease. Since then, the latest stalagmite structure stopped growing. The locals also believe that these structures have immense spiritual power. When someone in the village falls sick, locals still take few drops of water from the stalagmite top to give as medicine. They say it really works. Indeed, to see the huge Mawsynram cave from inside is a matchless experience. It takes about 2 hours of leisurely driving from Shillong to reach Mawsynram, while for those traveling without a personal or a rented vehicle, there is hourly bus service from the capital. While on the outward journey from Mawsynram, the passing scenic sights of Grand Cherrapunjee Plateau over the horizon are bound to make the traveler ready for another majestic destination. The first impression of the beauty of Cherrapunjee emerges as one crosses this familiar bridge. The journey confronts with deep gorges on one side and on the other small roadside shops which are bound to cater to tourists' hunger. Pork with rice is the most widely available delicacy here. The hot food or a cup of hot tea is like a blessing amidst the chilliness in the air. And that's not all. On the road to Cherrapunjee, the challenge to see the heavy fog can be another major attraction. And as the onward journey continues, humming the songs of the mountain, serenely admire the great display of nature. The Meghalaya plateau opened wide a beaten path to discover her exquisite splendor. The Khasis did not have their own script. However, these monoliths can be called landmarks in the history of the Khasis, and Cherrapunjee is undoubtedly one of the significant monolithic centers in the entire Khasi Hills. These monoliths are examples of finest Khasi carvings which symbolize reverence, love, and affection. Better known as Sohra, Cherrapunjee is one of the most visited tourist spots of northeastern India. Situated 56 kilometers from Shillong and 1,300 meters above the sea level, known all over the world as the rainiest place on the planet. The last of the Indian kingdoms to have fallen into the British hands, Cherrapunjee, apart from the incomparable scenic status, also possesses a rich cultural and historical heritage. Till 1864, it was the capital of the erstwhile consolidated state of Assam, when the British shifted the capital to Shillong, finding it too hard to bear the torrential rain. Cherrapunjee is full of unique limestone caves, with a large number of stalagmites and stalactites inside. The full length and breadth of the caves have not been adequately explored. These caves undoubtedly are tourists' pleasure. People come in large number to witness these wonders. Pursuing the cultural habits of the Khasis in Cherrapunjee, there are a few institutions which are trying to preserve their ancient culture. One of them is the Ramakrishna Mission. The Khasis of Meghalaya are the oldest settlers of the region. They represent the Paleolithic group of people who came here in successive waves from Burma and other Southeast Asian countries. They are peace-loving, sociable, hospitable, and humorous people. Cherrapunjee has grown into a busy administrative and trade center. From a miniature hamlet, it has grown into a specialized township. The Khasi society was semi-agriculturist in the olden days. They did not produce all their requirements, as the majority of them were not solely dependent on agricultural products. They busied themselves in trade and commerce. They traded among themselves and the people from the plains. The Khasis follow the system of jumming or the slash and burn method of cultivation. Apart from rice, the Khasis produce vegetables and other agricultural products which they require for themselves. However, the jumming cycle, which once lasted from 20 to 30 years and was in harmony with nature, has now been reduced to 3 to 5 years and is silently causing damage to the forests. But still, it's the practice which they have been practicing from time immemorial to make their living. Khasis are known all over the world to be very hard-working, a peace-loving lot who love to sing and dance. Shadshuk Minshim is usually celebrated in the spring season as a mark of respect to the Creator who has showered blessings for humanity. Hundreds of people in colorful dresses witness this festival. Young boys and girls join together in their traditional dresses in the dance, which signifies love, friendship, and joy. Cherrapunjee, besides other marvels, commands an imposing 180-degree view of the plains of Bangladesh. And after the rain, from the top of the hill, one can see the gorgeous surrounding hills and valleys and the plains and the fast-moving rivers of Bangladesh, which is a unique experience. The misty balls of white cloud collide with the mountain, forming a flag's insignia against the ominous sky. Everything comes to an end. So is this journey. But like the caramel lustres of the fading sun, the memories of Meghalaya will remain in the minds of everyone whoever visits this kingdom of clouds.